So we come back to the DVD collection with part 3. Part 3. I got a really old bony hands, look at that. Chubby fingers. Part 3 of me going through my DVD collection, my DVD collection. And I'm going to start it off. This is like the last of the stuff that was there, as you can see. So I'm going to start it off with this. This is the Evil Dead 2 limited edition Anchor Bay Tin Collector's Edition, limited to 50,000. This is number 39,519. This comes in a widescreen presentation, full frame presentation, audio commentary with writer-director Sam Raimi, and just all the other stuff. It also has a preview of Evil Dead 2, or the Evil Dead Hail to the King video game. So if we have a look inside, it comes in this thing here with a Fat Boy booklet, which has got the old classic artwork on it, and then the other classic artwork from the poster. There is a card for Evil Dead coming fall 2000 and summer. Then there's this art card, and on the back it's got the chapter selection. And then the actual DVD for Evil Dead 2 comes in just a regular CD jewel case. And I think that's all of the stuff that comes with this. Yeah, I think it is. I don't think there's anything else in this. Yeah. So that fits in there like that. And then the rest of the stuff fits in the tin. So that is the Evil Dead 2 Anchor Bay limited edition THX digitally remastered. Kiss your nerves goodbye. I think I've owned Evil Dead 2 on about 5 different DVDs and stuff, but this I've always kept this one. It's a bit dusty now, because I've had it for years, because as you can see it came out in 2000. I've also got Evil Dead 2 on... I've got it twice on Blu-ray. I've got a US Blu-ray, which for some reason is completely knackered. And I've got the Studio Canal... I can't... Can I get it out? Let's pull that one out. I've got this one, which is the UK Blu-ray. It says special features, but it's pretty much the same stuff that's on the Anchor Bay one, and a couple of newer stuff as well. I had to get this version because the American disc just decided it didn't want to work anymore, which sucks. And it wasn't even a Region A release, it was a all regions release. So that was the first one, the Evil Dead thing. Then we have La Celada, which actually is a film called Sit in Target, starring Oliver Reed, Jill St. John and Ian McShane. I still don't know if this is actually available anywhere, because this is a Spanish DVD. Again, I think it's a bootleg. I don't think it's an official release. It's made by Macadi Video and Feel Films. Or Nakadi. Nakadi. Alameda, Madrid. Yeah, so I don't know if it's legitimate or just a fancy boot, but I bought a few. I mean, the disc looks a bit booty, doesn't it? I bought a few from Spain, which I will show at some point. Good film though, Sitting Target. They've got Miller's Crossing, paid $1.99 for this. I already owned this on DVD, but I sold it years ago for some silly reason. And so when I saw it in a charity shop, I was like, oh, I'll just get it back for the collection. Great movie. Really good Coen Brothers film. Hard Rain. Awesome 90s action movie with Morgan Freeman and Christian Slater. Morgan Freeman and Christian Slater. Yeah, I'd love to get this on Blu-ray, but I don't know if it's available. Does anyone know if Hard Rain is available on Blu-ray? I'd like to get a 4K of this as well, or just a high def version, because Hard Rain's a hell of a lot of fun. And yeah, it's one of those type of films that just like those mid-budget, late 90s action thrillers that you don't see anymore. And I'd love to have that on a shelf. Then we've got White Sands, starring Willem Dafoe, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, and Mickey Rourke. Also Samuel L. Jackson's in this as well. This is directed by Roger Donaldson. I really like this film. This film is really cool. Little like neo-noir desert set thriller. And yeah, it's well worth your time if you can check it out. I think Umbrella or maybe Imprint have just released this, or have announced they're releasing White Sands. I'm not sure, but this is a really cool movie. Really like White Sands. I believe you may very well. Let me pause a sec. And we're back. Then we have Terminal Invasion with Bruce Campbell, directed by Sean Cunningham. I like this film. It's cheesy, it's cheap, but it's fun. I quite like the idea of having single location settings for movies. Especially it's a sort of like a rip off of The Thing, basically. And there's a scene where they go through a X-ray conveyor belt because it's set at a snowed-in airport. It's silly fun. Then we have Escape from the Bronx, which is the sequel to 1990, The Bronx Warriors, which is shit, as I pointed out in the last one. This is just as bad, if not worse. It's crap. Enzo G. Castellari. Yeah, it's crap. Don't even know why I bought it. Rising Sun, starring Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage. Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes. I spoke a little bit about this when I was talking about Japanese influences on American films in the 90s, the 80s and the 90s. This is a really good movie. Definitely, again, one of the type of films that's worth checking out. Directed by Philip Kaufman as well, which is... he is a very good filmmaker. Sho Kosugi, Keith Vitale, and Virgil Fry in Revenge of the Ninja. Yeah, this is a silly movie. It's a Sho Kosugi movie, so what do you expect? It's made by Canon. Yeah, it's enjoyable though. 400 years of training in the art of sudden death, unleashed on 20th century America. Yeah, it is what it is. It's a fun ninja movie from the 80s. Replacement Killers with Chow Yun-fat and Mira Sorvino. Chow Yun-fat's first American movie, which he followed up with The Corruptor with Mark Wahlberg. Good film. I really like this film. Need to get a better copy of this though. This is the Region 1 DVD. I need to get a Blu-ray of this because I really do like it. I think it was produced by John Woo, and it was directed by Antoine Fuqua, who went on to basically become a big name Hollywood director. I think he's done all three Equalizer movies, Training Day, King Arthur, the first Has Fallen film, Olympus Has Fallen. Really cool movie. I really like this. It's got Danny Trejo in it as well. This film is absolutely insane. It's called Rage. It stars Gary Daniels, and it has some of the most insane stunt work I have ever seen in a movie. It is directed by Joseph Merry from PM Entertainment. If you've never seen Rage and you want some balls to the wall non-stop action, I highly recommend checking this out. It's mental. Dreamscape, really cool, like early 80s like fantasy science fiction movie that kind of has the same sort of feel as like the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, because it's all set in like the dreamland and dreamscapes and stuff like that, because it's called Dreamscape. Really good film, directed by Joseph Rubin, stars Dennis Quaid, Max von Sydow, Christopher Plummer, and Kate Capshaw. Just really, really good. Definitely worth your time. Some pretty decent special effects in this as well for 1983. Yeah, really, really good movie. I need to get this on Blu-ray as well. What is this there? This is my fake copy of The Ultimate Warrior, starring Yul Brynner and Max von Sydow. This isn't available on DVD or Blu-ray, so I have a dodgy, burnt copy of it. So yeah, let's pay no attention to The Ultimate Warrior. It's actually quite a good 70s post-apocalyptic movie as well. Firestorm, starring Howie Long, Scott Glenn, William Forsythe and Susie Amis. This is a really cool movie. It's short. I think it's like 80-something minutes. 85 minutes. It's about a firefighter played by Howie Long and William Forsythe just being an absolute scumbag as usual. Non-stop action for 85 minutes. Can't go wrong. Who directed it? Dean Semler. So Dean Semler, who is a cinematographer, directed this, which is pretty cool. Yeah, lots of fun. Firestorm. Maximum Risk with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Awesome movie. Natasha Henstridge is in it as well. One of probably the better mid to late 90s Van Damme movies, where he does this thing where he plays a twin again. But yeah, Maximum Risk is really, really cool. I actually have this on Blu-ray as well. Yeah. Cool. Maximum Risk is badass. Memphis Belle. World War II drama about the bomber. Set in 1943. Directed by Michael Caton Jones, or Michael Caton Jones, however you pronounce it. It's got Matthew Modine, Eric Stoltz, Tate Donovan, D.B. Sweeney, Billy Zane, Sean Astin, Harry Connick Jr., Reed Edward Diamond, don't know who that is, Courtney Gaines from The Burbs, and John Lithgow. Yeah, good movie. It's been a while since I've seen this. I probably need to check it out again, but yeah, Memphis Belle's really good. I remember really enjoying it. It reminds me of the Steven Spielberg's Amazing Stories episode. I think it was the first episode actually, with the bomber where they've lost their wheels and the only way they can land is if they crush the gun turret underneath, but someone's stuck in the gun turret. But the guy who's stuck in it, I think, is a cartoonist. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's Kevin Costner's in it as well. A Michael Cimino film with The Year of the Dragon starring Mickey Rourke. This, again, kind of, you can put it with films like Rising Sun and like American Yakuza. I know it's not specifically Japanese, but it is. It's Asian, East Asian, and yeah, really good film. Quite noiry, sort of like neo-noiry. Mickey Rourke. What happened? What the fuck happened to Mickey Rourke? Mickey Rourke used to be so good. Yeah, good movie. Definitely worth a watch. This is a bit of a shit DVD though. It was released by Scanbox, and it wasn't even budget either. It was quite expensive. I think it was like $12.99 when I bought it. So yeah, Year of the Dragon's really good. There's one called Year of the Gun as well, which I think was directed by John Frankenheimer and has got Andrew McCarthy in it. British crime gangster movie based on a real criminal called John McVicker. This is really good. Really good 70s, I think it was, or maybe early 80s. 1980, there we go. It was made by The Who Films, which is not shocking because it stars Roger Daltrey. It's directed by Tom Clegg. Music arranged and conducted by Jeff Wayne of Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. And screenplay by the actual John McVicker. Yeah, this is really, really good. Wouldn't mind watching McVicker again, actually. This is not very good. This is Bandidas, starring Salma Hayek and Penelope Cruz, and also Steve Zahn. Could have been good. Both are hot, but it's just not. It's not great. It's not a very good film at all. It is directed by Joachim Roning and Espen Sandberg, but it's written by Luc Besson and Robert Mark Kamen. It's not good. Yeah, it's really not good. And the sad thing is, it's also got Dwight Yoakam, Steve Zahn, Dwight Yoakam, Dennis Arndt, Aura Blaster, Ishmael East Carlos, Carlos Cervantes, Joseph D. Reitman, and Sam Shepard. Like, what is Sam Shepard doing this? Sam Shepard's like a respected actor, screenwriter, director, and playwright. Yet he's starring in this absolute trash movie from Luc Besson. Not very good. Salma Hayek is hot, though, and so is Penelope Cruz, although they've got them the wrong way round, because this is Penelope Cruz and that is Salma Hayek. But yeah, it's not very good. Reindeer Games, great movie from John Frankenheimer. He made this after Ronin, and this stars Ben Affleck, Gary Sinise, and Charlize Theron, before she was essentially like mega Hollywood Charlize Theron, if you know what I mean. This is like 2 Days in the Valley and then Reindeer Games, Charlize. But yeah, really like this film. I think Frankenheimer only made one other film after this, which was I think it was a documentary about the government, and he did a short film called Ambush with Clive Owen, or Clive Warren, if you watch any Carl Pilkington stuff. He refers to him as Clive Warren, but Clive Owen, they were short films for BMW to show off the cars. There were loads of them directed by different people. It was John Frankenheimer, Guy Ritchie. I think there was a later one actually, not that long ago, which was Clive Owen and John Bernthal in it. But I think it was directed by Neil Blomkamp. I'm not 100% sure. I have to double check. It's on YouTube. But yeah, Reindeer Games is great. Really cool. Red Dawn. Red Dawn is amazing. Anything with Patrick Swayze is amazing. I have told you multiple times that I absolutely adore Patrick Swayze. And if I was a man of a certain sexual orientation, I would marry him, but I'm not. Maybe not now, because he's not exactly alive anymore, is he? But Red Dawn's awesome. The remake is not horrible, the remake, but it's not great. I would say Red Dawn is probably one of the best American invasion movies, if you know what I mean. And then, so you have Red Dawn, and then Invasion USA, and then just those two. However, there's a film called Tomorrow When the War Began from Australia, which is definitely worth checking out, because it's very much along the same lines as this, but I suppose it's pretty much more aimed towards teens, but it's still a really good film, and it's essentially a better remake of Red Dawn than the Red Dawn remake, even though it's not a Red Dawn remake. So that's Tomorrow When the War Began. Yeah, Red Dawn, awesome movie, great cast. Patrick Swayze, Powers Booth, C. Thomas Howell, Jennifer Grey, Charlie Sheen. Who else is in it? Leah Thompson, Ben Johnson, Harry Dean Stanton, Ron O'Neill, William Smith. Music by Basil Poledouris. Written and directed by John Milius as well, so you can't go wrong with that. Screenplay by Kevin Reynolds and John Milius. So Kevin Reynolds Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Recoil, the first opening 15 minutes of this is insane. It is just non-stop barrage of action, gunfights, car chases, and it's great. It's directed by Art Camacho, and it's from, again, PM Entertainment, which is Richard Pepin and Joseph Merry. They made some insane action films in the 90s. They're the guys who know how to flip a car on a Los Angeles street. Great movie, lots of fun, really worth checking out. Gary Daniels in Recoil if you're a big action movie fan. Brandon Lee's second best film after The Crow. Obviously this came before The Crow, because he wasn't going to make it after The Crow. Again, Powers Booth. Anything with Powers Booth is always worth watching. Brandon Lee, Rapid Fire. This film is great. Such a good action movie. Directed by Dwight H. Little, and screenplay by Alan McElroy. But it's got Powers Booth, Nick Mancuso, Raymond J. Barry. Just really, really good. Some great action sequences in Rapid Fire. Definitely worth watching. I've shown this before. This is Quatermass. This is the Quatermass Conclusion. I think it's known for in America as the Quatermass Conclusion, which is an edited down version. This is actually an American complete release when they released the full thing in a non-edited down version. The legendary 70s sci-fi classic starring John Mills and Simon McCorkindale. Really, really good. As I've spoken about multiple times, Quatermass is one of my favourite, if not my favourite, science fiction character. The Arrival. I spoke about this before as well. Great movie. I've got this on Blu-ray now. This is directed by David Twohy, who went on to do Below and the Riddick films with Vin Diesel. Charlie Sheen's great in this. It's got Lindsay Krause as well. Who else is in it? Terry Polo and Ron Silver. Really good sci-fi movie. Like that movie a lot. Stephen King's The Night Flyer. This film is great. I don't know why it's never been released on Blu-ray. I think it's because it was made as a straight to DVD thing. I'm not sure. This was released in the UK by Mosaic Entertainment, but I think Mosaic Entertainment had something to do with Choices Video, because they used to sell all the Mosaic video releases, and I never saw those like DVDs anywhere apart from Choices. But it's made by Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema, so it makes you wonder why Night Flyer has never been released outside of these DVDs. But The Night Flyer is really, really good. Miguel Ferrer is fantastic in this, and some of the cinematography is really good, especially towards the end at the airport. It's directed by Mark Pavia. Mark Pavia. I think he only made 2 more films after this, but this is really good. Definitely worth getting if you like Stephen King movies. We got Mulholland Falls, a 1950 set crime thriller starring Chaz Palminteri, Michael Madsen, Chris Penn, John Malkovich. Directed by, I think it's Lee Tamahori. Yeah, it is. Lee Tamahori, who made Once Were Warriors, and then went on and made Die Another Day and Triple X2 The Next Level. But Nick Nolte's in this, which I don't know why his name's on. They've taken his name off the front. This is such a shit DVD. So they've got all on the back: Melanie Griffiths, John Malkovich, Chris Penn, Michael Madsen, Chaz Palminteri, and Nick Nolte. But on the front, they've removed Nick Nolte's name from there. So you've got Chaz Palminteri, Michael Madsen, Chris Penn, and John Malkovich, even though Nick Nolte's front and centre. It's alright. It's not too bad. Especially for this type of film. I'd say it came out quite hot on the heels of LA Confidential. So, LA Confidential's amazing. What year was this? I think it was late 1996. So I think when did LA Confidential come out? When did LA Confidential come out? Let's consult the Blu-ray. Monsieur LeBlue, when did you come out? Oh, 1997. So, LA Confidential came out a year after Mulholland Falls. I wouldn't say it was a first-rate thriller. It's good. It's not great, but it's definitely worth a watch. And I think it's only an hour and 42 minutes as well. But yeah, it's pretty good. Usual Suspects, directed by Bryan Singer. We all know Usual Suspects. Yeah, The Usual Suspects is a great movie, so I'm not going to faff on about talking about that. Then we have The Fifth Element 2-disc special edition. I bought this when 20th Century Fox and Pathé were releasing all the special editions. So I had this, I had Predator, and I had the Die Hard movies, which I think was Die Hard 1 and 2. I don't know if they did Die Hard with a Vengeance like this. But, yeah, I think they was like Braveheart as well. But they came like these. They came like this. And it's a really good set. I mean, let's have a look at the discs. Oh, look at that. The discs are absolutely pristine. I actually do have the Fifth Element on Blu-ray. But I'm not fussed on the actual Blu-ray itself. It's meant to be a collector's edition or special edition or something. The Fifth Element on Blu-ray. Actually, I don't know if it is a special edition. I think it was just a straight boring ass release because there's basically no special features on this. So yeah, Fifth Element really needs a proper special edition. Who did the artwork? Maybe it's the dude. So yeah, Fifth Element, really cool. Love that movie. Into these in piles again now. So we have Cocoon to the Return, or Cocoon the Return. I like Cocoon the Return. I think it's a great companion to the first one. Yeah, it's not directed by Ron Howard this time. It's directed by Daniel Petrie. Yeah, it's really good. Don Amici, Wilfred Brimley, Courtney Cox is in this one instead of I was going to say Tani Welch, but she is in this. Jack Gilford, Steve Guttenberg, Barrett Oliver, Maureen Stapleton, Elaine Stritch, Jessica Tandy, Gwen Verdon, and Tani Welch, and music by James Horner. Yeah, I like it. Is Brian Dennehy in it? No, I don't know. I don't think Brian Dennehy's in this one. But yeah, there we go. There's me throwing DVDs again. But yeah, I like Cocoon. It goes well with Cocoon too. I think they complement each other really, really well. Then we have Ang Lee's Ride with the Devil, a sort of western, war film western starring Skeet Ulrich, Tobey Maguire, Jewel, and Jeffrey Wright. Again, this is a pretty decent movie. Really good. No one really ever talks about it. Especially when you think of Ang Lee's filmography, people just think of like Sense and Sensibility and what's the other ones? He did The Ice Storm and then obviously Brokeback Mountain. But Ride with the Devil's really good and definitely worth a watch as well. Good cast. Skeet Ulrich could have been massive. He's in my favourite TV show. Well, one of my favourite TV shows in Jericho. And he's great in Scream. But yeah, Ride with the Devil's really good western. Then we have Alligator, starring Robert Forster, Robin Riker, and Michael Gazzo. This has just been released by 101 Films in the UK on a Blu-ray with Alligator 2. Good monster movie. Has that sort of kitschy exploitation style to it. Maybe not as much as like the other Blue Underground movies. I know this wasn't made by Blue Underground, but it has that sort of feel to it. But yeah, Alligator is really cool. This is again a Korean DVD. Then we have Bridge of Dragons, starring Dolph Lundgren and Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa. Cool movie, sort of science fiction, but also like just full on martial artsy. This is directed by Isaac Florentine. Who would go on and direct, like I said, Ninja and the Undisputed sequels, and he's got a new film coming out soon. Can't remember what it's called though. Yeah, sort of like a dystopian sort of, I don't know. They call it the Republic and the Confederation of Scientific Technology. It's good martial arts in this, really, really well shot action sequences. So yeah, worth a watch, Bridge of Dragons. Then we have Battle of the Damned, also starring Dolph Lundgren. This film's shit. It's terrible. It's a zombie action movie, and it's crap. It's directed by Christopher Hatton. It's written and directed by Christopher Hatton. It's got zombies and robots, and it's just stupid. Then we have Strange Days. I've talked about Strange Days before. This is the US DVD. Also have the German Blu-ray of Strange Days. Strange Days is great. Fantastic movie. Massively underrated. Great Catherine Bigelow movie. Written by James Cameron. Great cast in it as well, with Ray Fiennes and Juliette Lewis. Angela Bassett. There's someone else in it. Michael Wincott's in it as well. Vincent D'Onofrio. Music by Graham Revell. Yeah. Strange Days is a great film and a massively underrated movie, I think. And again, I've spoken about this. This was in the... what was this in? I think this is in one of my videos about why I archive movies. It's Man on Fire, the original Man on Fire, which was remade by Tony Scott with Denzel Washington. Really cool movie. Really like this. It's quite gritty and feels more like a Michael Mann movie than a Tony Scott movie. And this was... Who was the director of this? Eli Churaki. But it's got Scott Glenn in it, Danny Aiello, Joe Pesci, and Jonathan Pryce. Yeah, definitely a good movie. I don't know which one I prefer. Like I said, I don't know if I prefer the remake with Denzel or I like this one, because this one, I love Scott Glenn, but this one's really gritty and not as flashy as the Tony Scott one, even though the Tony Scott one's so good. Felix the Cat, the movie, again, this is what I talked about in that same video. This DVD shit. The picture quality is absolutely horrendous. This was released by Hollywood DVD and 0 DVD coding. Film's really good, but the actual DVD picture quality is shocking. And then we got Fire and Ice, Ralph Bakshi's Fire and Ice. Awesome fantasy animation from the 1980s. Used rotoscoping and the style of Frank Frazetta, who was the fantasy artist who did the posters for Conan and a lot of other things. He also did the poster artwork for Clint Eastwood's The Gauntlet. But this is really, really good. I also have this on Blu-ray, by the way. So then we're on to the final pile. The final pile, we start with Taxi 2, the French speed movie, action, comedy. This film's great. Love the first one too. Love the third one. The fourth one's crap. And I don't think I watched any past 4. I think there's like 6 in total. But this one's really good. Who's in it? Sami Nasseri, Frederick Diefenthal, directed by Jared Kroiczak, written by Luc Besson. But yeah, taxi movies are really good. High speed, the car's really good. It's a Citroen, no, it's a Vauxhall. Vauxhall? Not sure. Just love them. They're really, really fun movies. If you like French action cinema, then yeah, definitely check them out. Then we have the theatrical release of The Warriors, which currently in the UK, if you can find a copy of this, pick it up in a charity shop if it's cheap, or pick it up in CEX if it's cheap, because this isn't available on Blu-ray in the UK. You can only get the director's cut, which sadly sort of ruins the movie. But The Warriors, big fan of The Warriors. Got multiple Warriors t-shirts. Love it. It's great. Walter Hill's one of my favourite filmmakers. Then we have the Doug McClure fantasy adventure triple bill with The Land That Time Forgot, Warlords of Atlantis, and At the Earth's Core. Comes in three boxes, each with the original artwork. And yeah, great box set. Which is my favourite? I think Warlords of Atlantis is my favourite. I love that artwork. If I could get a poster of that, would be amazing. But then At the Earth's Core is really good. But yeah, if I could get a poster of Warlords of the Atlantis, that would be amazing. But yeah, Doug McClure, not Troy McClure. That's Troy McClure from The Simpsons. Just gonna have a drinky poos. Then we hit the film Mindhunters with Johnny Lee Miller, Catherine Morris, Val Kilmer and Christian Slater, and James Todd Smith, aka LL Cool J. I wonder why he went with the LL with his actual name instead of LL Cool J. Maybe he wants to be taken more serious, because after this, he's just LL Cool J and everything. I really like this film. This is a really old Sony Pictures Entertainment X-Rental copy, and it's got an old red disc, which I think the reason they were red was so they couldn't be copied. I'm not sure. I think that might have been the case. This is so battered up and old. I think it had water damage as well, so I can't really take the sleeve out. Well, I can, but as you can see, yeah, it's had water damage. But yeah, I really want to get a proper copy of this, because I really do enjoy this movie. It's like Saw, but not Saw. It's good. I really like Mindhunters. I think they made a TV show about it as well. And we have The Majestic, starring Jim Carrey. This is written and directed by Frank Darabont, and this is a really good film. Nice film. 99.9% of the cast of the first season of The Walking Dead are in this. But yeah, Frank Darabont's so good. He's so good. The Shawshank Redemption, the Green Mile, The Majestic, The Mist, and then the first season of The Walking Dead. He's so good. Natural Born Killers. This is the full uncut, uncensored director's cut. Meh. I talked about it in the ranking the Tarantino movies, and I wasn't that fussed on it. The Stand. I do love The Stand. However, I wish to God, if I can push this down, when CBS and Paramount released the Blu-ray, they used that artwork instead of just the crow on a skull, because that's very photoshoppy, whereas that's really cool. That would be so cool if it was on there. Yeah, maybe. No, I'm not gonna cut the DVD. But this is the 2-disc. I've watched The Stand countless times. Watch it at least once a year. I love it. It's my favourite Stephen King adaptation. First saw it when it aired on BBC One, 1995, 94, 95, around that time. Then I watched it on a double VHS. No, not double. It was 4 VHSs, I believe. It had each VHS had a part on it, and it was split into 4 parts. And I watched it with my dad on VHS, I think it was. We watched it late night. But yeah, I love The Stand. It's fantastic. Then we have Escape to Victory, starring Michael Caine, Sylvester Stallone, Max von Sydow, and football legend Pele. World War II. It's a fun movie, directed by John Huston. I wanted to pick this up in the premium collection, which I might still do. I don't know if I can find it, but it's not a film that I'm massively in need of a Blu-ray copy. I've got this, and I enjoy the film, but I don't enjoy the film enough really to just warrant getting a second copy of it. When this is, it's in the original widescreen, and as it's a Warner Brothers release, it'll look good if I run it through a HDMI player. Then we've got Six String Samurai. I think I spoke about this before as well. This is a really odd little indie post-apocalyptic movie. It's directed by Lance Maniga and stars Jeffrey Falcone. Music composed by Brian Tyler. He's a good film scorer person. Composer. Come on, Pete. It's late. It's 3 o'clock. Yeah, I love Six String Samurai. Fun movie. I've talked about this before. I'm not going to say much more. You know how much I adore Biodome. It's cheesy crap, but it's one of my favourite comedies, and I can watch it no problem whenever I want. Bud and Doyle, heroes of mine in the 90s. Pauly Shore, I feel really bad for him now, but Stephen Baldwin, I don't know what he was doing in this. William Atherton's great in this. Joey Adams. Why? She's barely in it. I would literally say Kylie Minogue's in it more. But yeah, I love Biodome. Tenacious D's in it as well. The Hard Corps, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, Vivica Fox. This is not one of his better ones. This was written by Sheldon Lettich and George Sanders and directed by Sheldon Lettich. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Vivica Fox, Raza Duty, Viv Laycock, Peter Bryan, Adrian Holmes, Mark Griffin, and Ron Selmore. I don't know, I'd probably have to give it another watch, but the Hard Corps I wasn't overly fussed on. Around this time when the Fight Factory from Sony was putting these out, there was a lot of stuff that they did put out that wasn't very good, and there was a lot of stuff that they did put out that was quite good. Then there's To End All Wars, another World War II film. This is a really, really good movie. I still have to stick £1.50 I paid for this. Really good film from the BBC. It stars Kiefer Sutherland and Robert Carlyle. And if I can get the sticker off, who else is in it? I know the face. I can't read the back. Mark Strong's in it. James Cosmo, so the usual British faces. But yeah, this is a good movie. Set in a World War II POW camp in Japan. Like I said, Kiefer Sutherland, Robert Carlyle. Definitely worth a watch if you like World War II stuff. Yeah, To End All Wars. This is another really good World War II movie, The Devil's Brigade. This is sort of like The Dirty Dozen. It's about a group of men on a mission and stuff. Lots of fun. Who directed this one? Andrew V. McLachlan. So the guy who directed this also directed Where Eagles Dare, which is probably my second favourite World War II film after The Dirty Dozen, which I love The Dirty Dozen. But yeah, good film. William Holden, Cliff Robertson, Vince Edwards. There's a lot of people in this. It's also got Michael Rennie in it. It's got Dana Andrews, Gretchen Weiler, Andrew Prine, Claude Atkins, Carol O'Connor, Richard Jekyll, Jack Watson, with Paul Horing, Gene Fulmer. Written by William Roberts, based on the book by Robert H. Alderman and George Walton. Yeah, produced by David L. Wolper. Really good. Love Devil's Brigade. If I'm right, this is the one I remember. This is where like they get a load of people from Canada. Yeah, it's American and Canadian recruits into a crack team of commandos, and some of the ones that they get in there are a bunch of like acrobats and circus performers from the Ringling Brothers, I think it was. Good movie. This is the Big Guns collection. This is shit Italian cop movies. I say shit, they're not all shit. Violent Professionals is pretty good. Magnum Cop. Magnum Cop? I don't think I watched that. Emergency Squad. I think I watched Emergency Squad. The Long Arm of the Godfather. Big Guns. I think I saw Big Guns and Violent Professionals. I didn't watch the other two. Oh, wow. This just fell out. Futurama and Family Guy Star Wars. I actually own the Family Guy Star Wars DVD. But yeah, these were cheap. I think these were released by... I can't remember now, but the picture quality on these movies is terrible. True Lies. There's another disc in here. What the fuck? There's 3 discs in here. Why is there 3 discs in here? I have to sort this out. Sorry. Right, so True Lies. This is the 3rd copy of True Lies I have, because the other copy is in that pile by there, which I showed yesterday. This is the American one. This is the first one I bought before I bought the UK release. Yes, True Lies is fucking awesome. Another PM Entertainment movie directed by Joseph Merry. This is Executive Target. Great car chases. The film itself is not very good, but it's got Roy Scheider in it and Michael Madsen. Look at the cast. Keith David, Michael Madsen, Roy Scheider. Maybe not Angie Everhart. Who else is in it? Dayton Callie. Yeah, great action, but the film itself, I didn't really think much of it. I don't even know why I bought El Topo. I literally have no interest in it. I might watch it one day. I've never seen it. It looks a bit too weird and trippy for me. The most shocking and controversial head trip ever made. Violent, visionary, vital. I'm not an art house fan, as you can see. Most of these DVDs are Jean-Claude Van Damme films and action movies. I don't even think I paid $5.99. Did I pay $5.99 for that? No, I bought 3 movies from my local DVD dealer, Steve, from Diviner Records in Cardiff, and yeah, it was like £3.33, I think it was, because he did me 3 for a tenner, which is really good. So yeah, I don't know if I'll ever watch it, if I'll get around to watching it, but I kind of don't want to get rid of it because it might be something that I do watch one day. Bloodsport, awesome film. Actually prefer this to Kickboxer. This is the Region 1 release from Warner Brothers. I just really like Van Damme. I don't like this movie though, Black Eagle. I don't think it's very good. It's very early Van Damme, but Sho Kosugi and Van Damme have this on a Blu-ray with... Where is it? I think it's got like Death Warrant and AWOL, maybe Lionheart, but yeah, not massive fan of Black Eagle. This is Assassination Games. Now, I'm a massive fan, obviously, of Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I'm a big fan of Scott Adkins. However, these two in this film just doesn't work. They're fine together. They're no problem with them. But the film is rubbish, and it's really sad because I was really looking forward to this when it came out. It's directed by Ernie Barbarish, and or Barbarash, however you say it. But it's really badly filmed. The cinematography's got this horrible like sepia tint over it. It's just not very good. But gotta have it for the Van Damme collection. Same as having Hard Target. Hard Target's fucking awesome. We all know Hard Target is awesome. $4.99 again from my local DVD dealer, Steve from Diviner Records. Why did they not put this artwork on the fucking Blu-ray? Where is my Blu-ray? I don't know where the Blu-ray is, but I've got this on Blu-ray. And I would love to have this artwork on that cover, but no, they had to put all the silly flipping horrible Photoshop crap on it. But yeah, John Woo's first American movie, great movie. Risque Business, starring Tom Cruise and Rebecca De Mornay, that's the one. Written and directed by Paul Brickman. Seen this once, really liked it, haven't seen it since. Stephen King's Needful Things. It rhymes, yo, I'm a rapper. No, I'm not. Max von Sydow, Ed Harris. Great movie, really good movie. This was directed by Charlton Heston's son, Fraser Heston. And yeah, highly recommend this. This is really good. Really sort of like underrated for a Stephen King adaptation, but definitely worth your time. I think there's... I don't know, watching this feels a bit like watching Storm of the Century. Even though Storm of the Century is not actually based on a Stephen King novel, it's a separate story that was written directly for screen. But it has that same sort of feel to it. Maybe because it's set in Maine, obviously, and Dolores Claiborne is set in Maine, and it just looks like the same setting. But Needful Things is great. Don't know why it's an 18 though. Van Damme in The Shepherd, Border Patrol. Another Van Damme and Scott Adkins movie, this time directed by Isaac Florentine. So Isaac Florentine is a better director than Ernie Barbarash. And this is actually pretty good. I quite like this one. Mission to Mars. Do I talk about Mission to Mars again, or do I just go to the next film? I love Mission to Mars, you know I do. Truth or Consequences, NM. This is a film directed by Kiefer Sutherland. It stars Vincent Gallo, Mykelti Williamson, Kiefer Sutherland, Kevin Pollak, Kim Dickens, Grace Phillips, and I don't know anyone who really knows or talks about this film. So decent, like, crime thriller that just kind of just vanished. I think it was because people sort of looked at it and thought, oh, it's just ripping off Tarantino. And it is slightly kind of ripping off Tarantino, but it's really good. I mean, Kiefer Sutherland's fantastic in this. And this is pre-24 as well. I think this came out in 2001 or maybe 2000. No, it was 1997. So yeah, so this is like longer. This came out way before 24 did. But yeah, I mean, I quite enjoy this. I think it's a good little crime thriller and well worth checking out. The Langoliers. Love The Langoliers. One of my favourite Stephen King adaptations. I can watch this over and over again. David Morse, Bronson Pinchot, what's her name? Patricia Wettig from Alias, and Dean Stockwell, Frankie Faison. Just so good. I really like this. This is about a plane that vanishes, or that goes through a weird sort of portal and ends up in the day before, where everything has just vanished and there's no wind and no birds, and there's this sound in the distance, and it just keeps getting louder and louder and louder, and it turns out it's these creatures that eat up the previous day. It's weird. It's very weird, but it's got an absolutely bonkers performance by Bronson Pinchot in this, and it's definitely worth tracking down this because it's fun. The visual effects are shockingly bad because it was made in 1995. Yeah, it was made in 95 or 94, 95. But it was directed by, I want to say, Tom Holland, who did the Child's Play film, the first Child's Play film, and did Fright Night. But yeah, love The Langoliers. Romeo Must Die, starring Jet Li and Aaliyah. Good movie, really fun. I was literally talking about this with my brother the other day and how we hadn't seen it for a while. So yeah, glad it's in my hand now because we can watch it. Not huge amount left. Passenger 57. It's a fun film, but it's massively flawed. For a start, why would they take one of the world's most wanted terrorists onto a commercial airline with only 2 federal agents? And also, there's a lot of turtlenecks in this movie, but it's fun nonetheless. I have a note on my phone from the last time I watched this where I made a load of notes of why my thoughts on the film, because I was going to write a review. I never got around to writing the review, just have the notes, but the notes themselves are hilarious because it's literally just talking about turtlenecks. Yeah, but Passenger 57 is a fun movie. Then you got Only the Strong, starring Mark Dacascos. Great movie. This is a martial arts school teaching them sort of inner city capoeira movie. Really, again, Sheldon Lettich did this as well. But yeah, really underrated. Only the Strong. Mark Dacascos' second best film, if you ask me. His first best film being Drive. Once Upon a Time in Mexico, the third film in the Mariachi trilogy with Antonio Banderas, Salma Hayek, and Johnny Depp. This is a direct sequel, I believe, to Desperado, whereas Desperado is more of a sort of semi-remake of El Mariachi. But I have probably watched Desperado about 8 or 9 times. I've watched this once. I don't know why I've only watched this once. It's not a very long film. I just don't think it's as good as it could have been. I think Rodriguez kind of fumbled it a little bit. But yeah, it's alright. It's decent enough. Then we have, I'm going to do this again in piles. Then we have No Way Out with Kevin Costner and Gene Hackman. I haven't got round to watching this film yet. I will get round to watching it at some point. But obviously working full time, I say I will get around to watching it. I watched 2 films today, but I watched them on Paramount Plus because one of the films I don't have, and the other film I think is in that big old pile by there. But I watched Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe today, which was really silly, from 2022. I don't know how it got made. It's not the type of film you'd expect to be made by a studio these days. And then I watched Team America after it, which is just so fucking funny. So I will make time. I was doing stuff on the iPad. I was doing artwork on the iPad, so I just had them on in the background. But yeah, No Way Out. Apparently this is really good. Again, I think this is a Roger Donaldson movie, so yeah, I will check that out at some point. Then we have Swamp Thing, directed by Wes Craven, starring Adrian Barbeau and Louis Jourdain. Yeah, fun movie. It's a fun movie. It's Swamp Thing. Oh, Team America. I thought it was in that pile, but it wasn't. It was in this pile. So yeah, I watched this evening. I didn't watch the DVD because it was in the pile. I watched this on Paramount Plus in high definition. It's so fucking funny. I laughed so much. And it's been years since I saw this. And the scary thing is, this came out in 2004? 2004. So this film is 20 years old. And it's still hilarious. But then that's the good thing about the stuff that Trey Parker and Matt Stone make, is that their stuff is, while it's satirical, I mean, this still stands up. This stands up because there is still terrorism in the world. There is still issues with North Korea. Maybe not with Kim Jong-il, but his son Kim Jong-un. So it's still relevant now. But it's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. And then we have Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles. This is the Region 1 release. This was directed by Michael Anderson, starring Gail Honeycutt, Bernie Casey, Roddy McDowell, Darren McGavin, Bernadette Peters, Maria Schell, Joyce Van Patten, and Fritz Weaver as Father Pettigrew or something. I can't see my, but it's main star is Rock Hudson in this. The big issue with this is that the budget lets it down. It's like a television miniseries. It's 4 hours and 53 minutes, but it's clearly made on a very minuscule TV budget because it just looks cheap. However, it is still very, very good. It's Ray Bradbury, and I've talked about my love for Ray Bradbury. I've got Ray Bradbury's Theatre on DVD, and I'm currently listening to, what was it I listened to last night? Because I listened to Audible quite a lot. I think it was The Illustrated Man, which is another Ray Bradbury thing. I was listening to that because it's short stories, all to do with the stories, well, to do with the tattoos that are on the Illustrated Man's body. They all tell a story, and each tattoo is a like 10, 15, maybe 20-minute story. But this is coming out on Blu-ray, or it is out on Blu-ray, and it's something I do want to pick up because I do enjoy it, even if it does look very, very cheap. What have we got then? We've got Smoking Aces by Joe Carnahan. It's okay. Ryan Reynolds, Ben Affleck, Andy Garcia, Alicia Keys, Ray Liotta, Jeremy Piven. Some good action in it. I think it's a little bit too complicated, but it's also got Chris Pine in it. Chris Pine and I was going to say Martin Donovan, but it's not Martin Donovan. I can't remember his name now. Yeah, it's all right. It's good. It's fun. Shooter. This was directed by Antoine Fuqua. This is, I'd say, probably Mark Wahlberg's best action film. It would have been nice to have seen him do a sequel to this because, he worked well in this. I know they did make a TV show with Ryan Philippe, which obviously followed the same character, Bobbly Swagger, which is a silly name. But I really liked this. I thought it deserved to have a sequel. Although Fast and the Furious all the way, don't know why it says that. But yeah, Shooter's pretty good, pretty damn good. Then we have Shooter, absolutely mental movie. Love this film. Clive Warren, Paul Giamatti and Monica Bellucci. This film is mental, and it's directed by, what's his name, Michael Davis, who also directed a film called Monster Man, which is about a deformed guy in a mask chasing chasing these two guys on a road in like a monster truck. It's weird, but this is lots of fun. Paul Giamatti's great, Clive Owen's great, Monica Bellucci's hot. Just silly film. Lots of fun. Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson. I really like this. I like this version. It's not a remake of the original Shaft, which is good. It's got Christian Bale in it. It's got... who else is in it? Busta Rhymes, Dan Hedaya, Tony Collette, Richard Roundtree, music by David Arnold, but it's also got Jeffrey Wright in it. Now, Jeffrey Wright's a phenomenal actor, so much so that he's playing a fucking Mexican in this. Not like he's not Mexican. It's like what's his name, Cliff Curtis. If he's not playing a Maori, he's usually playing a Middle Eastern or a Colombian or a Mexican. Or Peter Stormer playing every single Eastern European with the same accent, because nobody knows the difference between accents in Eastern Europe. But this is really good. I really like this Shaft movie. Super violent as well, if I remember rightly. John Singleton as well directed this. He's sadly no longer with us, if I remember rightly. Screamers is great. I've got the Blu-ray. That's just on the shelf by there. Definitely cool movie, again based on a Philip K. Dick story. Peter Weller, just great. It's good. We have, how many left? We have 5 left, which I'm going to speed through because we're nearly at the hour mark. The Saint with Val Kilmer and Elizabeth Shue, directed by Philip Noyce. And I remember enjoying this. Non-stop thrills. Val Kilmer is terrific. I kind of miss Val Kilmer in decent movies. He's so good in this, and so good in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's a shame, obviously, that he's had the throat cancer or the whatever it was, tonsil cancer. Sahara, it's okay. It's okay. Based on the Clive Cussler novel of the Dirk Pitt character. Matthew McConaughey, Steve Zahn, Penelope Cruz. I think this kind of bombed, so they didn't ever make a sequel. It was directed by Breck Eisner, who I believe is the son of Michael Eisner, who was the chief executive or the whatever it was of Disney at one point. But yeah, it's a decent, fun movie. I think it's got Lenny James in it as well. Lambert Wilson, Delroy Lindo, William H. Macy. Yeah, it's all right. It's no Indiana Jones, and it's definitely no National Treasure. We have The Rookie, which was the first film I ever heard the F word in. And by F word, I don't mean fast. I mean fuck. Charlie Sheen, Raul Julia, Sonia Braga, Clint Eastwood. Yeah, it's good. Good cop thriller. Riot. I love this film. This is a Sugar Ray Leonard and Gary Daniels movie. This is a buddy cop movie, but it's it's fun. There's some good action sequences in this. Gary Daniels in the 90s was fucking killing it on the DTV circuit, and this is pretty good. There's a really good fight in a pool hall in this movie, so definitely worth having a look at that as well. And then finally we have Brian De Palma's Snake Eyes, which I hope to see on Blu-ray in the UK at some point, because it's a great film. I really like it. Gary Sinise, Nicolas Cage, directed by Brian De Palma. Who else have we got in it? Carl Gugino's in it, John Hurd, Stan Shaw, Kevin Dunn. Yeah, it's fun. It's good. And I might watch this again soon, because it's been a while since I watched it, but I really do like Snake Eyes. So there we go. That is the final 2 piles from, if I can show you, from there. The Blu-rays, you've seen all them. Those are all ones that I've either bought recently or just have to filter in. And then we've got, if I can take the mic off, we've got all the whatever's left in DVD corner, and then above the TV we have the shelves. Don't look at the crack in the ceiling. It's not going to be my problem soon anyway. So yeah, that is the 3rd part of my DVD collection. Thank you everyone for watching the first and the second part, and I very much appreciate it. As usual, I am Pedro. I'm going to give you a salute, throw up the peace sign, and tell you I'll be back. Cheers guys, I'm out. Oh, one more thing. There will be a in front of camera video soon. I've got some ideas that I want to do. I've been really enjoying going through this DVD collection. Each video has been an hour long, and it's been fun doing it, but it's 3:30 in the morning now. So as usual, give you a salute, throw up the peace sign. Just want to let you know I'm out. Cheers guys.